Hi, I'm Casey, and this channel is really everything you need to know about starting your own creative business. It's going to be hands-on with tutorials, workflows, work with me sessions, real tools and software, AI, you name it. We're going to discuss it. Anything that's creative, we're going to go through it. Unlike the gurus who only tell you what they want you to hear and what they want you to believe in order for you to stick around. I'm not doing that. This is going to be real-time recordings as it happens, minimal editing, because, I don't have time for that, even though my history is pretty extensive. Right now, this particular video, we're going to focus on my recap of licensing, getting my LLC created, and doing that all myself without going through, the services like LegalZoom. And I found a absolutely free site that I'm not affiliated with, not sponsored by, and we'll get into that too. So without further ado, let's check it out. All right, everybody. So we're looking at the LegalZoom website, and this is probably the first name that pops up whenever you're thinking about starting a business, because their advertising and marketing is pretty spot on. It finds its way into everybody's ads at some point. So looking at their website, it's great. It's a nice layout. It's definitely changed since I last looked at it, maybe a year ago. And yes, I have had my business for quite a while. The business I created was a creative business for producing content. It acts as the umbrella LLC for all of my sub-brands and pen names that I use throughout my publishing and all that good stuff, which we'll get into throughout the channel's existence here. But most importantly, there's plenty of websites that are very similar to LegalZoom. You can do a Google search and figure out what those are, because I'm not going to give them the time or space in this video. So just real quick, LegalZoom, if you were to go start my business, and let's get straight to the point, you're going to start an LLC, right? And, it goes a step-by-step. All of this stuff you need to have ready to go, which to me, it makes it complicated. Like, it's asking for a business name right off the bat, and they just want you to click through their website to be able to find this information out, which is kind of a pain, because you need to know if your business is even available. Your business name is even available. There we go. So if we click on limited liability company, or LLC, it brings you to this page. Now, everything they do here, you can do as well. And I recommend that you do it, because not only is it free for you to do as well, but you'll learn what it is that you need to know for your state, for your city, for your county, as it relates to taxes, as it relates to tax scheduling, how often you have to pay, if you have to pay, things of that nature. Whereas if you do this right here through LegalZoom, you may not get that information. Then to go up to the $250 plan, so it goes from $0 to $250 plus the filing fees. What you're really getting is an EIN number, and that's free. You go to the IRS, you put in your information, boom, within 30 minutes, you've got an EIN number. Whereas here, they're going to do it, and it's going to take time and all that stuff. And, they may have to mail it to you instead of sending it to you via email. So I would avoid these sites if possible. Do it yourself. And like I said before, I'm not sponsored by this company. I just happen to come across this person's YouTube channel. So you might be able to do a search for that if you want. And it is LLCUniversity.com. This channel, I should say this webpage, gave me literally a step-by-step process. I bookmarked it, and I went through for my particular state, and it told me everything I needed to do, and I would say it was at least 95% accurate on all of the links that I needed to click on to get to where he was talking about. So absolutely amazing. I'll tell you, if this person needed a sponsor or had an affiliate program, I'd be all over it. But guess what? They do it for free. They do it for free. Okay. So check this out. Let's pick a state. Let's go to, I don't know, let's do Texas. Here's all the information you need to know right here. Step by step, 2025. Pick your LLC name. Select a registered agent. And of course, they're going to have ads in here for Northwest Filing and LegalZoom, because they probably get a piece of that pie, right? And they recommend, and they tell you why, and you can read about it, whatever. But you don't need that. You don't need that. That's how they're making their advertising money. Okay? So, 5 steps. Simple. Choose an LLC. Select a registered agent. File a certificate of formation. Create an operating agreement. And get an EIN number. So right there, here's the trick. Get an EIN number. That free option didn't include one. But if you wanted to pay $250, they were going to get you your free EIN number. All right, which is something you can do on your own. It goes through the entire process. There you go. Taxable entity search takes you to the Texas Comptroller, where you can search for your business name, see if it's available. Boom. LegalZoom, didn't offer that. Here's your registered agent. Choose your registered agent. Make sure you follow the registered agent rules. I am my own registered agent. I have a office location. I'm within the state that I'm working in for my business, things of that nature. And it tells you right here, you can do it yourself. Keep on going down. Forget all that Northwest stuff. Go to number 3, file a certificate of formation. Step number 4 is create an operating agreement. And guess what? They offer operating agreements for free, and they're pretty good. Unless you're doing something wild and crazy, the standard operating agreement is all you need. You're a member managed. If it's just you, done. Fill out your information in it. Boom. EIN number. Simple as that. How to get one. If you're a U.S. resident, apply for one online. Let's click this and see what happens. It takes you to the page where it explains that specific step. All right. If you already know what it is, look right here. Boom. You skip ahead. Here's the application. Get started. Right here. Click this. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to take you to the IRS website. It's going to explain to you. You're going to apply for one. You're going to put in your social security number, your information, your address. You're going to click done and submit. Free. Boom. Done. Why pay $250 for something you can do for free? It's that simple. Let's not make your business already cost you money just by trying to set it up. However, if you're really legit and you want your business to be a full business, your startup costs are tax deductible. Remember that. Anything you do for your business, anything you do is tax deductible. And we'll get into that in a later video. But for now, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and leave your comments below. Let me know where you're at in your process. Getting an LLC took me quite a while because I was hesitant to pull the trigger. I was doing all this research. I had, information paralysis, where I was just stuck in that loop of trying to consume without actually doing. And one day I happened to be talking to ChatGPT, and it just said, get your LLC. Basically, it's just stop farting around and get your LLC. And here we are. All right, with all the paperwork done, we can start building. We're going to start with a series of processes to get your business up and running. It's not so much going to be linear because I don't work in a linear fashion. So you may see a series about book creations and going back to a series about building websites. But I'm going to try and designate everything in a playlist. So no matter where you're at, you can go to that playlist and watch those videos in a sequence and figure out where you're at in your process and follow along from there. Now, not every playlist is complete because everything changes. When you run a creative business, website updates happen, content creation happens. Now, like I said, a little bit more about me. I've been doing video production since about 2008. I am an award-winning video producer. I have material archived in the Library of Congress for video content. I have books in the Library of Congress. So there's quite a bit that I've done over my decades of experience. Today, I work in marketing and social media management for a state university. So with that being said, I do have the experience. I'm not going to make this YouTube channel my 5 to 9 because I already have a 9 to 5 job that I do every day. This is just kind of a fun way to kick back, relax, do what I enjoy, and hopefully share some of that information with you. Now, if you enjoy this kind of content, please make sure you subscribe. If there's something you'd like to see, make sure you put a comment below. But right now, in this particular video, please let me know what you're working on. I'd love to know if we're on the same page, if maybe there's something you can teach me, or maybe a path forward for this channel that you can maybe get some use out of. So if you're working on a video, let me know. Maybe I'll do some video tutorials, some lighting tutorials, etc., etc. So please make sure you subscribe. If you have a comment, leave it below. I'd love to know where you're at in your creative business journey. And if there's anything I can help you with, please feel free to ask. All right, see you in the next video.